Yes, it is. All right. So this morning, I take Matt to school, and then I tend to go from his school and I go to Seattle Coffee. There are lots of coffee shops. I go to Seattle, and I'm on the way, and there's a guy whose car seems to have broken down, and there are lots of cars around, lots of people around, but this poor guy is pushing his car, and so I like, oh geez, all right. So I pull over and I park, and as I get out, he's managed to, it looks like he's jump started his car, jumped in, and started going. Now there's all the school traffic around, so I go, okay, cool. So I go and I drive around, and then when I get back to the circle he's actually driven probably another 50 meters down the road, and then his car's stopped. Except now it's blocking more traffic, and now I can't even get to him, and I try in the parking area. Of course, there are no parking spaces. And by the time I get my car to him, some other guy who's walking is helping him push his car out the way. Excellent. So I pull up behind and I just say to him, do you need a jump start? And he goes, no, it's not that. I'm out of petrol. So I said, well, would you like me to take you to go get petrol? And he goes, no. I'm just going to push my car to the petrol station. And I'm like, sure thing. But he's like, really? So I go, cool. You sure? Yes, cool. And I drive off, and I go, no, I've got this. So I go to the petrol station, go find the manager. Have you got a container? Yes, we've got a container. You need a deposit, because they don't like to give you containers of petrol, because petrol bombs are made that way.
Okay.
No, it's not a South African thing. It's a worldwide thing. Just out of, if anyone's not sure. So this whole big mission of getting this really weird triangular thing that they put about 3 liters of petrol in. They cut a plastic bottle, so it's the funnel. And I'm like, awesome. Now I'm going to go be the helpful Doug. So I go and I drive back, and the car's not there. So I go, oh shit, he must have started pushing. He must have gone this way. And I go this way, and he's not there. I go that way. And then I drive back to the garage, and he's not there. And I do the whole circuit. I'm like, oh God, that's weird. So he's just vanished. And then I have to go back to the garage and return the thing. And the manager says, can we refund you for the petrol? I'm like, no, don't. Can I have my deposit back for the thing? And he goes, no. But do you know what the message here in this weird little story is? The man very clearly told me he did not need my help. Thank you for offering. I don't need your help. And I didn't fucking listen. And I went on my little righteous, or my little goody two shoes. Hey, I can help you, buddy. I'll go do it, even though you specifically told me that you don't need it. And it's like, and when I went back, he wasn't there.
Man.
And it's amazing. So, did he go, watch how fast I can push my car? I'll be gone out of the garage before you even drive there, buddy. I don't know what happened, but I do know that he very clearly told me that he didn't need my help. Thank you, and very graciously and gratefully said, thank you for stopping, thank you for offering, but it's all good. And I took it upon myself, and I got schooled.
I do that all the time. And you know what? It's not only that, it's like, we're in a society now that people think it's the responsibility to take care of other people because they think they know better, or they're trying to do better. And when we don't need your help, then you don't need to do it, right? That's
well, but this is the whole thing, especially basically it's amazing how many times in the session basically your client says, back the hell off, and we don't. And in workshops, and again, you've never experienced a workshop, there are a number of times where I'll say to someone's about to go into this real deep, horrible space, and I can see suddenly someone will start getting uncomfortable. What they're actually doing is they're getting uncomfortable in themselves. They're about to run off to get a tissue because this person's crying, and they might get a little bit of mascara, or they might, and I go, you need to stop what you're doing, because if you come into this space, I'm kicking you off the workshop. They don't need you. You are doing this for you, not for them. It's got nothing to do with them. You're uncomfortable. You want to do the intervention to make yourself feel better. So you've got to learn to sit and shut up and hold the space. And when we have this all around the world. Yeah, but they don't need you. When you step in, you interrupt their process. I was clearly told, dude, I don't need your help, but thank you. And I didn't listen. So it's just a funny little thing.
That's a great story.
Yeah. But those things are happening all the time. It's like I said to you yesterday, I chatted to Kurt in Belgium, who is done a PhD in running sort of forces through the body and movement, and we had this amazing conversation as I'm learning about his app, which I'm testing and measuring forces through the sacrum and all of this. So I went from that into meeting with Dutchie, who I've literally paid the deposit now. I'm getting a new surfboard that is completely different to anything I've ever ridden. But I got schooled by him in the most awesome way. I learned about waves and surfboards and what you're trying to do more than I've learned from anyone. I've been surfing since 1986, and I learned more from him yesterday than I have in eons, and it was amazing. And so the joy and appreciation of that knowledge. But guess what? I was open enough to have those conversations. I was good enough in myself, because I haven't been having a lot of those conversations recently. And is that because nobody wants to have those conversations with me? Yes, because you're a miserable old fart. When you're not a miserable old fart, when you step up with a willingness to learn, a willingness to hear what someone's got to say, what their perspective is, people are open, people share. People will work together because you find a common language together. You start with two different things and you bring it together and you say, how do we figure this out together? And so I had to change in order to allow them to share with me and teach me and educate me.
You had to create the space
in myself,
in yourself, right?
Doug had to step up, and so what's beautiful about that is, and this is such a huge thing, is I didn't need anybody else to do anything for this to happen. I needed to do the work here. And as I said to you yesterday, is the stuff that I was doing had worked to a certain level. I plateaued. But that was because the questions I was asking were no longer relevant. They were great questions 2 years ago, and they get great answers and dynamic answers, but the new environment, different questions, different changes. So therefore you're going to ask different questions, which we had a long conversation about yesterday. When you change the question, have you even thought about how you ask the question? If you change the emphasis of the question, you change the answer, you change the where you go looking for the answer.
The implementation, right. Yeah.
And so it's fantastic, because it really comes down to always, when we do the right thing, the body responds immediately. And I'm so happy that I'm the recipient of that, because I feel it's so easy to step up now. Whereas 5-6 weeks ago, I could do it. It's easy enough. I've done it my whole life. But there's a different driving force through me, and so it's kind of, you don't want to then go, this is what you do to get here, because that's not what we're teaching. We want to teach you a process of how to learn, how to question, how to find we were talking with Kurt yesterday, and so that once they've got measures in their runners, like on what's happening, they've got a whole lot of cues to change the forces in your run. It might be increase your arm swing, lift your head, blah, blah, blah. And I was just offering different suggestions. But there's no one size fits all. You don't go, okay, do a greater arm swing and everybody responds. Oh, wow, that's much better. No, maybe 60% of people respond. So awesome. So when you do this activation point, 60% of people respond. But that means that when it doesn't work, instead of going, oh shit, this point doesn't work. No, this is not their point. There's something else. There's another connection. And then you go there. Wow, now you've got another 30% of people. Now 90% of people on 2 points are firing exactly as we want them. But there's another 10%. this is the most exciting stuff. What's that 10%? Oh, we go somewhere else. We look at and sometimes it's a point, sometimes it's a mindset, sometimes it's blah, 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 blah. And you go, holy shit. So we're problem solving and we are scenario planning, all these things that we chatted about yesterday. And so we want to teach people the scenario planning system. I've been speaking around us for 10 years when in workshops. I'm a scenario planner. When you speak, I'm planning scenarios. Perhaps we need to teach people how to do scenario planning.
Absolutely. Or not. With myself, I could tell you that I always think the first question I ask myself is the one that I need to implement. And when the results don't turn out, it wasn't the implementation, it was the wrong question. And and that's the biggest thing, is kind of, even playing a little bit of a wait and see to understand if that was the right question. That's okay too. But this is how we solve problems, even understanding what the problem is.
The thing is, so they're like, it's where is it, Star Wars, or I don't know, all these silly things, but like, so I look over there and the question written there says, what did I see? Okay, there's the question. Okay, I saw that. Okay, what happens if I said to you, can I change that question using the same 4 words? See, I did what?
Yoda.
Yeah. So it's a Yodery thing. Actually, it would be better if it would be, I did what, see? And now your brain has got like, say what, man? What the fuck are you saying?
Yeah.
But you've literally taken the same 4 words, you've made it different, and you're probably going to go to a different place. And so we are so stuck in our little rigid ways of asking questions, ways of doing things, and therefore the question always takes us back to the same place. But if we can learn to ask better questions, we get to different places, and therefore the world opens up. And it's growing this capacity, growing the world. People's worlds are friggin' small right now. I know my world was getting small, and waking up is pretty damn funky. Let me show you how.
That's good.
Yeah.